Tell me if this sounds familiar. The modern world is full of many challenges and many issues that we deal with day to day. So you have taken the duty upon yourself to try to find your place and find your, just grow a better understanding of, the space around you, but also kind of to solidify who you are and, your values and what you want to accomplish, okay? Therefore, self-improvement. That's the example I'm going to use, okay? But this has to do with a lot of things. It doesn't just have to be self-improvement, right? We're just talking about life today. And during this time, this journey, you try to learn, or you begin to learn many new concepts and ideas and ideologies and theories. You also begin to learn scientific discoveries. You also learn new social science studies, people studies. You start to understand human psychology more. So you're starting to learn about the brain and learn about behavior. You start to learn about sexual polarity, so like difference in men and women, how the brain works. I don't know, you could learn about human development, you could learn about the body, you can learn about the earth itself. As time goes on, you might continue to learn about things like plastics and how that affects the body, but how that affects the environment. You're learning about toxins, and you're learning about waste, and you learn about being sustainable, right? Eco-friendly, and helping the planet. Anyways, long story short, with all these learnings, you notice that most of the reasons that we learn these things stem from problems. With being sustainable, we're learning about being sustainable and increasing awareness about it because we have a sustainability problem. We have a problem in our ecosystem. We have a problem in our water. We have a problem with the products we're making. We have a problem with resources. We learn about things in human psychology, differences between men and women, because there's conflict, there's a problem, and we're trying to better understand it to resolve the problem. We learn about plastics and estrogenics and toxins and waste. At least you most likely are learning these things because there's a problem. Health is suffering. Our generation is suffering. Socially, we are suffering, right? So we continue to learn. And it has its ups and downs. Some days it's super inspiring, it's exciting, and other days it really, it could leave you feeling kind of deflated, kind of tired. I hope this sounds familiar, because this is my experience. Whoa! Can you believe it? The story I was telling you was actually about me. What? I'm just hoping like it connected there or something, or it was relatable. We turn to a lot of different places to gain knowledge. At least I would hope. But even when we're listening to a lot of different sources, a lot of different things we're interested in or we're concerned about, sometimes it's just really hard to put things into perspective, as well as take things in properly. Sort the items within your brain. So one problem with, I'm going to go ahead and call this enlightenment pilled, okay? You take the enlightenment pill, and a lot of times it's really easy to take too much in at once. And I think we're all aware of that sometimes like you can just have information overflow and it's overwhelming. But another thing that I'm realizing right now is the struggle to figure it out. And I think that is not necessarily a problem, but it's a trial that every single human being will go through. The challenge of figuring it out. And it is life. I don't think anyone has it figured out. And so it can become kind of demoralizing when you're looking up to people and they're talking about, problems, and then they talk about solutions and they talk about more problems. And yet, even though they have authority, they've got a following, they've got subscribers, they've got money, they practice a lot of things they talk about, but no one has it figured out. No one has it figured out. So today, my example for you, I was catching up with Hamza Ahmed. If you know who that is, there's a pretty good chance you've seen him around on YouTube. And I was mowing the lawn, okay? And that takes a while. It takes a long time and it's really boring. So I thought, you know what, while I'm here, let me see if I can gain some wisdom, get some new ideas. And then on accident, I listened to like 2 or 3 episodes or videos or whatever. And it became kind of challenging, not so much while I was listening to what he had to say, because, I mean, I can totally see where a lot of what he has to say comes from, and I'm not criticizing him in this video. That's not what this is about. And I'm not a Hamza meat rider either. I just, I appreciate a lot of what he has to say, even when it's hard to hear. But that, again, that's not what I'm going over. But what I'm trying to cover is, it's challenging when, especially when you follow someone for a while, and you realize the same thing, that nobody has it figured out. Even a man who is making approximately $2 million a year, has a pretty strong following, is very observably fulfilled and successful, and yet he doesn't have it figured out. Now, that doesn't mean that he's terrible and he doesn't know anything. He knows that he's a very wise man. He knows a lot. But with every wise man, people who know a lot, people who are successful, they still don't have it figured out. And that's very evident. It's made evident when you see him, and this isn't even a criticism, actually, I appreciate this, but he's very honest. And when he changes his mind about something, when he learns something new, he'll go ahead and shift it completely. Because he's very upfront, he's very genuine. He's not going to hide the fact that he's changed his mind. He's not trying to please anyone, he's trying to learn, figure out life for himself, and share his lessons. I honor that, I respect that. But it's very interesting still to understand that no one has it figured out. And my takeaway from this is you gotta figure it out. Because even if someone, a higher up with a lot more power and authority than you, tells you, do this, think this way, I don't care if it's some YouTuber or the government, no one has it figured out. Absolutely no one has it figured out. Yeah, the solution is you, which sounds corny and cliche. But what I mean by the solution is you is, nobody can figure it out more than you can. The journey that you will take on it during this life is so unique. Even if it's not unique per se, it's still only your experience. So even if you, like millions of other men, sit and play Rainbow Six Siege, play Rainbow Six Siege for 7 hours and eat some Oreos, your experience is still completely unique to anyone, all the other million people who did it, because it was you who did that. And you can't implant that memory into anyone else, because you were sitting on your own couch in your own room, I would hope it'd be your own room, eating your own Oreos. There's really nothing like you, what you can perceive, okay? And so one thing that I can find challenging sometimes is a bit of a back and forth with understanding what's right for some people, what's right for me, what's right for everyone, what's right for certain individuals. It can become kind of tiring, definitely. Yeah, it's hard to be pilled about anything because it doesn't apply to everyone. But does it? No one has it figured out, man. So take things like the red pill, right? I do think that there is some value in red-pilled ideologies. We're gonna talk about like dating in this case, right? There are probably some valuable ideas in the red pill, but how much is too much? Now, I'm not saying I'm red-pilled, but I find a lot of interest in some red-pilled ideas because they make everything very extreme, but there's some science to back it up. It makes the world a whole lot harsher, and yet it's good and bad. What? It has bits of good where, like, it'll make a man feel very motivated to just work hard and reach the top. Great. But as we've seen, it can also be a harmful idea, right? Super interesting, man. No one has it figured out. Yeah, I just really want you to get, like, to send that message home that, like, no one else has it figured out. And you obviously don't because you're living, but it is still your mission to figure it out, as it is everyone's, right? So if you're not trying to figure it out, we have a problem. That's kind of like a loss of life. It's a loss of ambition and hope and purpose. So I just hope, like, I don't know, I just kind of wanted to share that idea, and also kind of share with you that, like, not everyone is perfect also for that reason, because no matter who it is that you're idolizing, they don't have it figured out, so they're allowed to make mistakes. 100% they're allowed to make mistakes. This is also my biggest, or one huge problem with, like, you know, political arguments or religious arguments. Nobody has it figured out, dude. Nobody has it figured out. Absolutely no people have it figured out. So it's just really ludicrous to criticize someone for thinking differently, because you don't have it figured out, you buckaroo, and they don't have it figured out. Yeah. The world's an interesting place, man. Here's another example. In the episode that Hamza was doing, he talked about how, like, a human being can only have ambition and make change out of discomfort, which actually kind of makes sense. He was saying stuff along the lines of, a lot of times we'll get to a certain point in our physique, in our money, in our relationship, and we can kind of cap off there. We can kind of relax. We kind of lose the drive to continue to go up because, well, isn't it good enough, right? Which was, then he went on to say that, you know, true change and success and ambition, which a man should have all the time, comes from discomfort. So kind of putting hot coals under your feet all the time, which also makes sense, right? But then we get to a crossroad here. When can we be satisfied? Is it okay to be satisfied anymore? And I'm not even saying anything against his idea. Do you like my my blister? That's from golfing today. But when can we be satisfied? And I don't know. I don't have it figured out. I don't think he does either. And again, nothing against him, because he's extremely driven and he's gonna reap those benefits of being extremely driven. And I'm very driven, and I'm trying to harness that even more and more and to upscale that. However, throughout life, as I achieve more success, and as you do too, I really pray that we'll be able to figure out how to enjoy what we have, how to be satisfied about where we are, while still being motivated to upskill and improve, while keeping the important things that matter to us in check and in balance, keeping them valued. It's hard, man. That is difficult. That is a tricky challenge, okay? But I don't know, I just find that super interesting. So, yeah, that's my takeaway for you today. That was the biggest thing I kind of wanted to get off my chest, was like, when can we be satisfied? Hopefully I'll find out someday. Hopefully you will too. How feminine does a woman have to be? How one-sided are actual human beings, you know? Like, how do we date people? Can they change? Are they complex? Can you negotiate with a woman or a man? Make a relationship work? No one has it figured out. Now, people have bits of it figured out, or good chunks of it, But people disagree, so no one has figured out. All right. You have an awesome day, man. I don't want you to leave this being like, oh no, I'm scared. Because I'm in this with you, man. And also, I don't know, it kind of makes me hopeful to realize that no one else has it figured out. Like, no one's hiding the answers from me. So, patience. Patience, patience, patience. Take your time. You'll get there. I'll see you later. Peace.